Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, Lauren, and Danny. Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
Hi.
We're back again, and I'm not depressed this time.
Wow.
So that's good. I literally could not watch one of the podcasts because I was so sad, and I was like, I'm so triggered. Like, I was so depressed.
Someone called into Diddy, and
Not
they were
anymore.
like,
Yes.
yeah, they were like, Diddy doesn't know what anxiety is. Why is she talking about anxiety? I was like, are you a medical professional? Have you met her? Do you know her?
Have you lived inside her brain?
Okay.
Get out of here.
I would like to say I'm back, and this time I have blonde hair and an Oreo.
Woo! And I didn't
Her
say,
hair color went to the
welcome back to the Cimorelli podcast.
Yeet.
This is episode 13, where it all ended. Which is,
This is not the end of the season.
Is the podcast
it's a song called Where It All Ended off of our album, Sad Girls Club. And it's the 13th track. And it's written by this tall lady next to me named Kath.
I'm tall, if you didn't know that.
Yeah, she's pretty tall. So we're gonna give you a little snippet. It's the longest song on the album. Let's do a little snippet. So hit it, Jody.
You said you'd always be here, but now you're gone. Now you're gone. No, you're gone. Oh, God. The worst part is knowing that you're out there, but you don't think about me. You don't miss me like you used to. And I hope you know this isn't what I wanted. I just wanted. Worst part is knowing that you're
I've
The amount of
literally,
times I've cried to that song.
Can I
Literally
just
on
say
the
a quick
verge
note
of
about that
tears.
one line? When I said the worst part is knowing that you're out there, but you don't think about me, I just felt so proud of that because I was like, that
That's
just
relatable.
captures like when you like look at their social media and you're like, oh, they're out doing things, and you're like, they're out doing things, and they like don't want me to be a part of their life. It's just like, oof.
So this is a death song.
Death.
Not literally.
It's about the death of
Yes.
a relationship. It's well, my notes here is deep, deep heartbreaks of death. You're in your grave and someone stomps on it. You really liked what you had with this person and it was destroyed. That's what I wrote. That's what this is about.
Them, not you.
So that's today's show. That's today's show. We're gonna get deep,
get funky.
emotional. We're
Catherine.
not
Oh,
gonna get
no.
funky.
We are never getting funky.
I just heard the cha-cha slap. Funky.
Okay, that's enough. So we're gonna start with our highs and lows. So I'm gonna
Highs
jump
and
in and
lows.
start. So as you know,
Neediest to greedy.
we shoot this like a little bit before it actually comes out. So I'll just say my high is that I'm engaged, even though it's late for the high. Yeah, if you watch the past ones, you'll see I'm not engaged, and now I am.
Wow. No ring.
Funny
ring.
how it works.
No,
So
ring.
that's the high of my life,
Ring
and
thy
then
spring.
the low is that I'm having a hard time finding the date at the church that I'm gonna get married at, like getting a date.
Poor you.
Within like
Sad.
within like not 2 years. So
Sad.
that's my low.
Most people are out
But
here
it's gonna be
having
a
a hard
high.
time finding a husband. And
Yeah,
she's like, I can't
wish
find a
I
date.
had that struggle.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to do mine out of order. We're doing age order, right?
Go.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, so I'm going to do my low and then my high because they lead to each other. So first, my low. I was really sad. This is deep, but I was really sad because I thought about, for the first time in a long time, about how people like made fun of me so much on YouTube when we first put out our videos and how like they put me down a lot. And I just don't think I really ever processed that. So I just
You're
wanted
rude little jerks.
So, see, protective. So I went on a walk yesterday and I cried for like an hour and I was like, oh. And then I was happy at the end and I started dancing. So I was like, yeah, I'm free. And then I made snickerdoodles
Yeah.
and then it was a great night. So
Those
be a
were
great night.
so good.
All right, you got a high to share?
Yes.
Thank you.
My high
Plug my
was,
snickerdoodles.
Well, my high was babysitting because I love babysitting. I love children.
baby.
Baby's this really cute, nice little girl, and then her mom and I are like friends. And I come home and Kath has like this giant plate of cookies. So I was like, this is a real high. The low was that she's obsessed with this creepy movie like Boss Baby
Wait,
or
who's
something.
she? Not Catherine.
The baby.
Catherine is obsessed.
The baby is.
That she babysat.
She's obsessed with that weird movie, and it's so low-key inappropriate. So if you make children's content and you put in your gross jokes, get out.
Leave.
Bye.
All right, cool.
You don't belong in the world with children.
Yeah.
I'll do a classic combo high-low because Guess what it was?
Your hair.
No.
Oh.
No. There's nothing
Dang it.
about
I know
that.
what it is.
Well,
I know what it is.
I got a cyst removed from the top of my head. A gross, quick surgery removing a lump on my skull. Well, not my skull, my skin. And it was like a high because I'm like, yes, finally. No more, lumpy skull. But then it started to hurt a few hours later and I'm like,
Oh, I knew it was gonna hurt. I told you.
yeah. I didn't say that it wouldn't. I just said that it didn't because I was still numb.
Does it still
But
hurt?
yeah, last night, and then it went from a low to high because last night I was like in pain laying in my bed, and then I slept on it.
I told you to
think
take
would make it hurt.
Advil.
No, I didn't, and I woke up and I felt so much better.
Aw,
That's good.
My high was that last night I went to a basketball game and it was the best game I've ever seen in my life. And I get really into basketball and I was with my brothers and they get really into basketball. So like by the end we were literally standing up and this is like a high school basketball game. We were like standing up and screaming and like flipping out because it was amazing. And
you brought that?
So many things happened. Yeah, it was great. So that was definitely a high. And then my low. Wait, I had what it was and I forgot it. Oh, probably when I listened to Where It All Ended 3 times in a row and then cried the whole time.
Well, I mean,
I
it's
feel
sad that it's a low, but it's a beautiful low.
Yeah, because,
It's expressive.
Laura?
My low is that I got sick.
Aw,
And
Lori.
my high is that I wasn't sick before I got sick.
Good.
I just realized you 3 are wearing lashes and us 3 aren't. So it's like the lashes and the non-lashes.
You guys
lash
wear
lashes.
lashes.
Oh,
You guys wear lashes
Lash
all
gang. I'm
so
not in
much.
lash
It's
gang.
a
None
lash gang.
I'm not in
a
lash
natural gang.
All right,
That's
so guys,
so
we got,
weird.
what would you like to go to the next part?
Yes.
We got the fan question, the spicy advice question.
And if you want to be our fan question, sorry, how do you do this?
I was gonna say,
Oh,
plucked from Twitter. Kath, got it from Twitter.
In case you're wondering who always goes on Twitter and says, "Hey guys, send us a spicy advice question." That's me.
So you just tweet us with hashtag
And I hand
Cimorelli. Cimorelli podcast.
and then Kath's gonna grab it. So tell us.
Okay, so the question is, how do you tell someone that you don't want to be friends with them anymore without hurting their feelings?
All right, I'm starting because
Impossible.
I've done this. Yeah, that's the first thing. I don't
I
really.
have a statement that you
I
can't.
was starting. I think it's impossible. I did this once with this girl who's kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like she wouldn't fight me, but she would think about it. And like she would consider it, almost fight me probably. So I was friends with this girl and she was a really bad friend and me and my best friend were friends with her. So both of us were like, we don't want to be friends with her anymore. So we sat her down in a parking lot, which was so sketchy.
That's so sad.
Because she's scary. And, well, she's not actually scary. I'm not scared of her. But she's like, might punch you in the face, And I don't want to mess up my face. So we like sat her down in this parking lot and we were just like, look. She was like, why haven't you guys been talking to me? Why haven't we been hanging out? And we were just like both of us.
That makes me so sad.
It was really sad because it was kind of like we were ganging up on her and it was just like, but we weren't mean about it. We were just like, you just have different priorities and we just kind of explained it. We were really, really honest. And she was like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't get what's going on. Like, you're not being, and we were like, no, we are being
She
very
was
clear.
like a toxic friend, right?
Yeah, she was
like,
a very toxic friend. She was a bad friend. So we were just telling her, like, look, we were saying, you make us, we were speaking for ourselves, but the gist was, you make us feel very negative and you say very negative things. And when we're around you, we feel down, that kind of thing. So it was really, really awkward and uncomfortable. And she was really, really hurt. And I had to yell at her for a minute because my friend wasn't standing up for herself. And it was really just like an emotional conversation. So like, really, there's not really a way to do it without hurting someone's feelings, especially if you're close.
I would say most people go with the approach of just kind of drifting away. And that's like, I think that's honestly the best approach. Like, I only did that one time where I said to someone, look, I'm not gonna be friends anymore and here's why. And it was this girl who was just very subtly criticizing me, like in the most subtle way. So she'd say these things and I'd be like, that felt like really critical, but it wasn't like totally critical. And you just get this bad vibe. And like later she like texted me after like 6 months, just like, oh, hey. And I was just like, hey, I just wanted to let you know like the reason I haven't like talked to you in a while. And I was like, I just felt like subtly criticized by you. And then I was like, but I have no hard feelings. Like I wish you the best. Like I wasn't like rude or anything. I just was like being upfront and like blunt. And she was just like, yeah, so I thought about it. And she responded like, I think like months later. And she's like, yeah, I didn't really do any of that. So I think, like, I was always a good friend to you. I was like, I was like, well, I guess you proved me wrong. So,
Yeah, some people will let you drift away, but some people you try to drift away. And like, the
no,
girl that I had to
no,
stop being friends with, she kept talking to me and kept approaching me. So I was like, I had to say something. But sometimes you don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
You should just try to shift the goal from trying to end the friendship without hurting their feelings, because it's probably not going to happen. Like, you can try that. I think it's good to try, but you should more make the goal like trying to end the friendship in like the most like honorable way with the most integrity. Like trying to be a really good, kind person, even though you can't control whether or not someone's feelings are hurt. So it's kind of hard if you set the goal that you're not going to hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
You can't control that.
Because if someone wants to be friends with you and you don't want to be friends with them, that's just a hurtful
It's just sad
concept.
I
There's
did that
no way around it.
one time with this dude. I was like 17 or 16. I was like, I do not want to be friends anymore. And he was like, you can't just break up a friendship. It's not a relationship. And I was like,
yes, you
I
can.
can't.
You literally can.
I was like, well, I just did so. So he didn't take it well. So yeah, it's really hard to do that. So that's the advice on that one. We're going to go to Lisa's Corner.
Let me guess,
Entitled
you didn't do anything?
No,
Oh, you did.
today.
and a
I don't know about that.
Holler.
I have actually prepped for this. This is one of the first times I've done this. Actually, I did this a few episodes ago.
Oh,
Okay.
Amazing.
Let's see. Okay. I don't know. Whatever. We'll just go into it. Today, I have some very unrealistic, not useful, but entertaining advice. I literally thought of this on the drive here.
Unrealistic, not useful.
Places to go during a zombie invasion. And also, I hate when people talk about zombie apocalypses and zombie invasions. I think it's really stupid. So maybe it's just like a jerk invasion, but also these are kind of violent concepts, so it probably should be a zombie, so you're not
aliens?
hurting.
Aliens is more likely. It's more likely.
Alien invasion. Okay.
There we go.
No, zombies. Okay, so, number one, a gas station. Spray them with gas. It just seemed good. Number two, near a pokey fence. Climb it. The zombies will get caught on the pokes.
Wait, but how do you not get caught on the poke?
Because you are a strong warrior.
You're human and
they
they're
are
dumb
a corpse
zombies.
that is
Fly over
walking
it.
somehow. Number three, the zoo. Stick a tiger on those flippers. Number four, a barbershop. Shave their necks. Point and laugh. Number five, ice rink. They will slip and fall, and you will skate to victory. Let me finish. And once again, you will point and laugh. And I was just thinking anywhere pokey or slippery, really.
A bathtub that has spikes.
Oh, a bathtub! Yeah, but that's too small.
Then you
because
corner
you're in
yourself.
there with the
Like a lake, a pond.
a lake.
A
They
frozen
probably
lake.
can't swim,
I'm
but
feeling
they
really
can't
prepared
die.
now.
Yeah, they can't die.
No fear.
Or can they die? They're already dead.
They're the undead.
Oh yeah, that's my segment. Thanks, guys.
Wow.
Good to know,
So
Lise.
glad that she shared those tips with
I
us.
was really thinking about that.
My personal favorite was the fence. You know?
Yes.
And
Get
after
caught on
hearing
the
this,
pokes.
I like to say, how do you know that's not going to be useful? There could be a zombie. I'm just saying,
I
there
think
could be a
aliens
zombie
is
apocalypse.
way
Aliens
more
is way more
realistic.
likely, but
I
But
think
I feel like aliens are in every movie. They're always superior and extremely intelligent and like can't die.
Yeah, they're like, you
so
will die.
none of my dumb tips for a corpse chasing you would probably work on like an intelligent life form. That's
Yeah.
like
Corpse
All
chasing,
right,
what a
that
wild-
was
You're
great.
right.
Definitely glad that we gave Lisa her own segment. So let's go to story time.
story time.
Kat is going to tell an abridged version of the story of the song
Me long-winded?
Where It All Ended.
Okay. I'm a very long-winded person, so I'm going to try my best to just be brief here. Okay. I'd like to start with a quick disclaimer that the boy that this song is about, he is a precious heart. Like, I think he's a very
Don't
sweet...
they all?
I think he's a very sweet boy, and I think he means well, so I'm not trying to drag him in any way.
Wouldn't know because we
I'm-
never met him.
Yeah, they never met him. That's another thing. Okay, so the quick version is I met him right around Christmas time, and
This was
this was
Last
2016. Christmas
not-
time,
not
2016.
2 months ago.
Yeah, and we just like fell in like, you know, and then just as I was falling in like with him, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm actually not ready for a relationship or like looking for that," and I was like, "What?" It's like, you've been treating me like that. So confusing. I was very confused. And so I just kind of like tried to do all these Jedi mind tricks. Like, okay, I could just be like his female best friend and like fuck myself and like suppress everything and like never say I miss you. And like, so he was like, I can't lose you in my life. And like, I kind of got so like pent up about it that I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I met with him and I was like, I need to break things off with you. Like, I can't just be like your female best friend. I'm sorry. Like, I like you. Like, it's too much. But then he was like, no, like, I can't like not have you in my life. He was like hypervent, like it was like very intense, and he was like, I can't not have you in my life, please.
Guys
Like,
always act like that's their choice. It's definitely happened to me before.
yeah, well, I
off.
definitely fell into the trickery, and then for like another month, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna give him a chance. Like he wants to try to be ready for a relationship. Like I think this could work. Like
Nope.
I like him so much, and I was just so obsessed that I was like willing to do anything until. Well, actually, no. The reason that first thing happened was because he didn't want to see me on Valentine's Day. He said it was too serious,
What?
even though we'd been like basically like
hang
going
out.
on dates and talking and stuff for like
Every
2
day.
months.
Did you talk like every
We talked
day?
every
You don't
single
have
day,
to get
all day.
engaged on Valentine's Day.
what
You
I
can just
said.
like share a meal.
Yeah. So then,
Like, hang
but
out,
that was a wake-up
break
call.
bread,
So
go
the
to
day
Chipotle.
before I tried to break
That
up
was
with
a
him
breakup
or break
call.
things off for the first time
my
was the day before
gosh.
Valentine's Day. So I was like, heck, not. Like it just
Heck
hit
to the
me. I was
nah.
like, this is the dumbest situation ever. So yeah,
Yes.
basically it took me like a month, and then I finally broke things off with him. But I missed him so much, and this is actually the part that the song is about. So this is the end of the story. It's like after that, I could not stop thinking about him for like months and months.
Relatable.
Like it was weird. It was like I don't know that it was necessarily him. I think just like the way that everything happened, like he was very sweet and like very kind when I was vulnerable, and like no one had ever done that for me before. So it just like messed with my head, and it was just like very intoxicating, and I could not stop obsessively thinking about him for like months. And then when I came back to like want to like actually be in his life again, he wanted nothing to do with me, even though like he said he did. It was so confusing. So it was just like this awful feeling of like feeling completely like abandoned and like unwanted by someone, and like you would do anything for them to just want you again. And I like wanted to capture that feeling in this song.
And then what after that happened with him?
Oh, well, he started dating one of his girlfriends like a couple months later after he
Like
wasn't
girlfriend?
ready for a relationship with me. But she didn't say that little part.
With you.
And then he did reach out to me later, but I was already long gone, moved on. So,
Is he still with that girl?
No. But
That's what you get.
yeah, so,
That's what
and
you
I,
get,
yeah,
get,
so
get,
anyways,
get.
I am very happily,
Married. She's not married.
Not in that situation, and in other situations that are happy. So,
Situation.
you know,
Situation?
life moves on. Life
You know
moves
what's
on.
crazy is that Catherine and I had literally the exact same thing
Yes!
happen to us
Oh my
at
gosh!
the exact same time, and the moving on process was the same thing. The
Yes,
thing that happened after,
literally.
how they didn't want to talk to us anymore, literally the exact same
I have to tell you about
timeline.
one quick night. Okay, so during this time, I went
Oh,
to
yeah.
a wedding, and I was triggered the crap, and I was like, I need to see Danny. And so I like ran to Danny's house, like in my car, like
You
I ran
ran
in my
from
car.
the wedding?
And I was like, Danny, and then I sat in her room, and I was like laying on the floor. I was like, ah, and then we both just like
And
laid
I
there
played you
and
a
cried.
song I wrote about my boy, and you related to it so much because it was literally the same situation, so you cried.
We both just
We
sat
both
there and cried.
We sat there and cried
'Cause
about
we-
our
yeah.
boys.
They were the same person.
But
They
the
were
difference
But they
was,
weren't the same
mine
person.
was like 12 years old, and yours was a grown man. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Okay, but my
Yeah.
boy was just very sad.
I don't
I
care.
feel for
I
him.
don't
feel
care.
for
Just
him.
immature.
That is
Very
like the
mature.
most garbage bag move to be
is.
like,
It really is.
I'm not ready for a relationship with you, and you are clearly really like me, but
It's
I can't lose
trash.
you in my life, which someone tried to do to me, and I was like, no. I literally
Absolutely
said, I cannot, like, I'm basically in love with you, and we cannot continue this way, and I...
Yeah. It's just not considered
like,
of your feelings.
that's so rude. Like,
It's so selfish.
I think we have a really cool friendship where like you die inside the whole time.
Yeah,
but like
you
I still
stifle
get,
yourself.
I get the perks of hanging out with you and being around you without having to do anything for you, and
Not
you just
one
like me.
perk.
Get away from those people!
Not one single perk.
Whoa, your frying pan's a little shinier.
It is.
Okay, so this this segues pretty well into the question of the day.
Question of
so
the day?
speaking of actually really doesn't. Speaking of that, Kath, what's the question? It's actually not
It's not
related.
speaking of
Okay,
that.
so I got a good one here. This is the opposite of my story. Okay. No, just to that boy again. God bless you. Okay,
This
so
is a deep question.
the question is, and this is such a debated question: do you believe in soulmates?
No.
Wait,
And
first,
why? You have to back up your argument.
My answer is no.
Define soulmate.
Yeah, that's my
Okay,
question.
let me
What
tell you,
even
this is what the
that?
general definition that I hear. People say a soulmate means there's this one person in the world that was created just for you, and you're meant to like find this one person, and then your souls will just like connect. That's
that
basically
on that level, no.
No.
I don't
don't
believe
know.
that there's necessarily one person that's like,
Okay.
because think about this. What about like when a woman's like husband or a man's wife or whatever, when your partner dies and then you like, it's like, oh, like one of my friends' parents, like, oh, they like she remarried now, and like they have this amazing new stepdad, like, and they're so happy together. And I'm like, you know, what if your soulmate dies? You just
Well, do a
stay
lot of
single?
people
'Cause
marry?
some people do fall in love again. And
you
get
could
another
marry
really
someone
nice
who's not your
situation.
soulmate.
Yeah, that's
just
what I'm
'cause you
saying.
married
I think
him.
a lot of people,
Like, what if you have an amazing husband, he dies, and then you like fall in love again, and you have someone else, and it's like, I don't think that's.
I don't know.
I used to believe in soulmates, but I was a psycho and I had these crazy standards. Like, I was like, it has to be the perfect man for me. Like, so I used to think it, and I just don't really.
gotta say-
I think it seems weird.
I think you definitely have people who you're gonna connect with on a deeper level than anyone else, and you're gonna like have them in your life for a really, really long time. And I think maybe some people have a soulmate. Maybe there's one. Maybe God created two people and was like, these people need to be together. Maybe, but I don't think everyone has a soulmate at all. Because what about nuns? Okay, do you think nuns
Their
have a soulmate?
soulmate's God.
yeah.
Okay, well that's not a person.
I
don't know.
think that there's all these like potential soulmates that you could have, but then you end up with one. So it's like in a way you do have a soulmate because you do end up with that one person. But it could have been anyone. It's like potential until like it happens, and then they're your soulmate.
Because there's only certain people who you connect with on like a soul level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
okay.
makes sense.
No, but mainly just the concept of only one person.
Okay, so listen, I tend to connect with people on a deeper level than I would say your average person. I think most of my friends, most of them don't like connect with guys on too deep of a level because it's really scary. But for some reason, that's not in one of my like fears. For some
Yeah, I
reason,
can't relate.
so I tend to like really, really connect on a deep level. So I've connected with guys on like a soul level to that place where it's like, oh, and this is back when I was like younger. I would think like, is this my soul mate? Because I'm connected with them on a soul level. And then it happened again. And I was like, wait, can't have more than once if I have one soul mate, can it? And then I realized there was a lot of guys that I deeply connected with on a soul level in a romantic way. And what like set it apart was just besides that connection, there's a lot of other different things like can you trust them and what things that you've been through together. When you've gone through a lot together, like Nick and I've gone through 8 years of things together.
That's her fiance for the new viewers.
It adds like another like level of things. So I kind of feel like if you connect with someone on a deep level and then you've been through a lot with them, it turns them into turns them into a soulmate. Is what I think. I think it like becomes one instead of like this one person that I just found and then they were just that person. So I don't think that I think it's dangerous to think there's one person and I'll deeply connect with them and then that's the person because then
And it's just
when
meant
you
to be.
deeply
It's just gonna
connect with
happen.
someone, you're like, oh, this is the person because I'm deeply connected with them. I know it's like in movies when they're like, I can't because
I just don't feel this way
love-
about anyone else.
because they say, I love him. You can love more than one person in your lifetime,
It's true.
okay?
Yeah.
You're not going to be in love with one person. So that's what I think on that. I guess, that's not a definitive yes or no, but that's what I think.
Yeah,
I think there's kind of a weird trickery, a fallacy of like, oh, like if you love someone, that means that you're meant to be. That means that like you're meant. They're like in the movies. They're like,
Really?
when you love someone, you get married or whatever.
In
to
the
them.
movies, they're really saying if you are obsessed with someone, you're meant to be with them.
Yeah, no,
So
that's not
horrible.
true.
Infatuation.
I can't stop thinking about you. I can't eat. I can't sleep. That means you're infatuated. It doesn't mean you're meant to be with them
doesn't sound
forever.
very healthy.
And I think a lot of like people probably would not like should have never like should not get married, but they get married because they think they should because they're in love with each other. But like that doesn't exactly qualify you to marry someone.
I just think of it like this.
That's a different topic.
Picture like a really amazing old couple, right? Where anyone would look at them and just be like, wow, like what a sweet, like real test of time relationship. Are they like, I don't eat, I don't sleep, I only think about my old husband? No, they're just like peaceful.
They're just chilling.
Maybe they are,
stable.
Lisa.
They're just
No,
chilling.
because then they would be like,
Maybe their
sticks. They
infatuation
haven't eaten
lasted
for
for 6
80 years.
That's true. You got to eat at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's still a debate. So
cool.
also I'd want to say if you're on YouTube watching this, or if you're just listening, you can do this on Twitter. Tell us what you think, since clearly we don't have a strong yes or no on this. Want to know what your opinion is on soulmates? What do you think?
Leave us a comment.
You got a
Why?
soulmate? You got proof? Got a pic?
Oh my
Got
god!
a pic.
DNA?
Okay, so guys, we're gonna move on to the most frantic segment.
I am.
Let me just say, I have not always been Amy's number one fan. I'm not saying I didn't like her. Just saying I was never Amy's number one fan. But I am Amy's number one fan now, competing with Lisa. Like, literally, Amy is the
I've been at this
funniest
a lot longer than you.
person ever.
I feel like Miss America.
Okay. Okay, let me give. I feel like Miss America. Crisis. Okay, can I give an intro here so we can move on?
She's wearing a Home Depot shirt.
And fake eyelashes.
It reminds me of like attractive men who build things.
Okay, let me move on. Okay, so this is called Amy's Current Crisis. And we're going to talk about, well, she's going to talk in a way that you can hopefully understand what she's saying.
I'm gonna try.
About Amy's fainting crisis.
I feel like it should really be called Amy's Fainting Saga.
I was going to say
It
saga.
is. This is a continuation of a past topic that we've touched on before.
We said we would come back to it, and
Yes,
here we are.
and here we're back.
Okay,
Here we
I'll
are.
give you a little more of an
We
intro.
are men of our word.
Amy has a particular quirk about herself. And this
One is that she coughs a lot.
Okay.
It's
And
called asthma, not a quirk.
this quirk has turned into a series of mishaps because of this quirk. So Amy, tell us what the
Tell
quirk
us about
is.
the
Okay, so the quirk is that
Okay. Try to say
when
it.
I'm emotionally overwhelmed, then I faint. And it's like
Take that in.
I actually faint.
She will literally
falls.
faint
And
when
it-
she is overwhelmed.
It always happens like I always almost faint, and I never it doesn't always happen. Like it almost happens many a time. Then I'm like, oh frick, gotta
Wait,
get
you know,
myself
like
together.
in TV shows, like the woman is like so shocked and she faints. That's literally
That's
Amy.
Amy.
I never fainted about
That's
like
the woman.
from like shock or something. It never happened. But there's always it's always like a storm, and for some reason this happens to me a lot in like church. I don't know why. So like I've almost fainted in church many times. I think it's because like church is the one time well, I guess church is like a time where there's like not a lot of distractions. And
You're
just
thinking
kinda
about it.
there, and you just and it's not even something like tangible that I think of. It just all of a sudden I'm like dizzy and I'm like literally going to fall over. So the other night, Catherine and I were at this thing that we sing at.
I'm
The other
always
night.
there. Why
And-
am I always there?
You were not there the one time Christina was there. One time at Good Friday
whatever.
Mass, then I fainted. But that happened.
I was there.
And then I was just really hungry and tired and stressed because Lisa said she was going to date some boy that was really stressful. Yes.
Literally, because Amy was like, oh my gosh, she's going to date this dude.
Yes.
Then
I
all
was
this
standing
happened.
next to her, and then suddenly she goes,
This was like 20.
and I was like,
12
Amy?
or 13.
Amy? What the heck? And then she pops up normally. She goes,
Yeah. I popped right up.
Wait, this was Black Friday Mass.
it was in Malibu.
Good
No,
Friday.
Good Friday.
Good Friday.
So then,
Yes, it was.
so the other night,
This is the other
we
night.
had so the day before, or that day of, we had this long conversation. Like we came to work at our house, and then we ended up talking for 5 hours or something. Really, really a lot of talking, and it was all very emotionally charged. And I was just sitting there, and I was like, so then we go to this thing, and there is this boy. And also I'm singing a song that I wrote myself and I never played in person. And then Christina was gonna be here and then she was gonna listen and I was gonna be like, ah. So I had to sing that and I was already emotionally charged and I was so nervous. So, and also I didn't really practice that much. So that added a lot. But then I went in Catherine's car to just practice for a bunch and then I prayed a lot and then it all worked out. But then, so we're sitting there and I hadn't really eaten that much that day either. So I walk up and the first person I see is this boy who follows me around, not in a bad way, but kind of just in are you gonna talk to me and ask me to hang out,
He
or
lurks.
you just gonna lurk? I don't really know.
He lurks.
It's really stressful, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So then that was a mom moment. I felt like my mother in that moment. So then, we get to the place where we're playing the music, blah blah blah, and then Kath and I sit down the entire time because I'm like, Kath, I cannot stand up for
I was
40
so
minutes
worried.
in this state. My stomach hurt. I was actually started almost throwing up. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
Amy's like, Kath, I
was
can't
having-
stand. I was like,
I was having a full on panic attack, and I don't know exactly all those factors in and of itself don't seem like a huge thing, but I think all together they were just a big deal. And I called Lauren about it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
You're like,
then-
I'm gonna throw up. I was like, it's okay.
I was literally, and I'm not one of those people that throws up when they're anxious. I just faint. So I was like, what's going on? So then we're playing, and then everything goes smoothly. I go to like stand up to like go and like kneel. And I fall over. I stand up. The first one I see is the boy who was following me around. And I just faint. And I was like, what the heck?
Forward?
No, just like backwards.
You fainted
yeah,
at the
your
sight of him.
Did you fall back onto the seat?
Or you like collapse?
No, I was standing up, and then I don't even remember. I don't
She
know.
fainted. How would she know?
I don't know.
Catherine was there.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I started crying.
Did
Yeah, I know you did.
I was like,
It's not that big of a deal.
Did she like topple over sideways?
She just went boom.
Wait, where did she land? Where did she
No,
land?
onto the floor.
It was like
Onto the
thick
floor.
carpet, so it wasn't loud. It was kind of like a boom.
We were like standing in the back, and I just like
Look, she's
and it
really
was
short. She doesn't have that far to fall.
like
That's
it
a
was,
good thing.
She like popped up.
it was
That's the
completely silent in this church. Like
Everyone's like
not
praying.
a pin drop, and then I like fall over. I was like okay, cool.
All the back rows went. Whoa. And
So then
turned around.
Every time someone faints in church, it's always an old lady. It's never like, oh,
That's
some
me.
22-year-old.
Also, every
I'm
time
the old
Amy
lady.
faints, she always pops back up.
Yeah, she
like
does.
she faints for like
She's
2
like a
seconds, and then she's
groundhog.
like,
So that's basically the saga. And one time I fainted on stage. It's always about anxiety.
you fainted on stage.
I was like,
there's a video of it, and Julia and I watched it the other day.
I want to see
7 times.
What's the video
Someone put like a sound effect.
What's it called?
It just starts like Amy's really fainting.
One of the more
She's staring.
embarrassing things that has happened.
She just falls.
Wait, was I there?
One of
I
the more
remember
like
this.
embarrassing quirks. Were you there on stage? Anybody know?
were
Was Kat on
there.
stage with us?
I remember.
Wait, what show was that?
It was in like
It was in like Europe or something.
It was in
I think because
I was
Barcelona.
there.
we didn't like address it, and
We just
then
went,
and then the show went over because we kept the show went all the way to the end, and then you forget about it because
No, we just kept going. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just really awkward.
Cimorelli fainted on stage.
Stop!
Lisa just pulled it
This
up.
is so embarrassing, but that's one of
You
my
can't control it.
Yeah, you can't
quirky
control it.
narcolepsy.
stuff.
So that is
That's my quirk.
the Amy fainting saga.
Yes. I'll let you know of any updates.
All right, that was Amy's current crisis. Thanks for sharing. We're going to talk about the Cimorelli challenge of the week for you guys. So this one's from yours truly, me, myself,
The medium-sized woman beside me.
She's not medium, she's slightly tall.
the 75th percentile woman, me. My challenge for you guys this week is something that I did when I was like 16. This is really like flowery, but write a letter to your heart. Okay? I did this when I was 16. It was like kind of like broke me out of like being like an emotionally repressed human being who didn't know they had feelings, basically. So I wrote a 10-page letter to myself about all these different boys. So I was like, to my heart, I was like, I'm sorry that I let this boy in when he didn't respect you, and I'm sorry this, blah, blah. And I was like, just kept going and going and going and going and going. It was in college. I was 16 at the time, or 17, 16. That's when I started college. So I was writing. And then I went to McDonald's and got a soft serve ice cream, and I threw it away in the McDonald's trash. I don't know why.
You do the ice cream or the letter?
Which the letter, not the trash. Not the trash.
I thought you got ice cream that just threw
Why
away.
did you throw the ice
Not like
cream?
symbolic.
Not the ice cream. I threw the letter away in the
I hope
McDonald's
a homeless man
trash.
found it.
Write a letter, buy ice cream, throw it away.
But you have to throw it away in the McDonald's trash
I think
can.
because I
I'm about
was
to do
so
that.
scared that my personal feelings would be found by anyone in my family. But I hate throwing away anything I own in a trash can that's not my own. I hate it. Yeah, because it feels weird. I'm like, why am I putting this in someone else's trash can? It feels wrong. Like, I'll wait to throw it away in my own house.
I'm just wondering. Wait.
Does anyone else have that?
Wait, wait,
It's
like
the world's trash.
Wait, if you had a ponytail break, you're gonna throw it away in a public trash?
Absolutely.
No, I need to throw
My
it away
mind
in
is
my
blown.
own
I don't throw
trash.
things in the trash.
So I'm
You're
like,
a
this
very
was.
odd
I'm like, this was
woman.
my thing. I can't throw it away in someone
You're
else's
so
trash.
I would prefer to throw it away in someone else's trash. Leave my trash for only anything that absolutely has to be in there.
No, it needs to be like
weird.
our,
Yeah,
our
exactly.
household trash.
that's very strange.
Wait, I thought you were talking about things of like sentimental value.
No.
You're
Yeah,
like,
a ponytail is sentimental.
No, it's not.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
She's wild.
Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Please tell me someone out there has the same thing of trash. Tell me that.
I don't think so.
Please.
I don't think so.
Okay, tweet us #Cimorelli Podcast. Tell me
Hashtag
if you
trash
have
quirks.
that. If you have that quirk, but also tell us if you do the writing letter to your heart. I highly suggest it. That was a big turning point in my life and my like romantic life, because I
Gonna
think
have to
after
do
that I switched my mindset to like relationship mode, and that's when I end up like getting my first relationship after doing that. So good tip. So we're gonna end this podcast with the blonde woman to the left. And she's going to inspire us with Lisa's inspirational ponderings. Hit us.
Her hair is
Think
beyond
about it
blonde,
again.
okay?
Lisa.
Sometimes those are the best ones.
Inspire us!
Let's see. The thoughts that flashed through my mind were socks, stitches, staples, floors, black curtains. What can you talk about? I want to inspire you to... I don't know what, guys. Use this more often, okay?
All right.
Be honest with yourself.
Use what? The readers can't hear
Frying pan
you.
of truth.
Yeah.
Use the frying pan
Get
of
yourself
truth.
a frying
Oh,
pan.
okay, you know what? This is something that we have talked about, actually. Me and my friend Warren was visiting. We talked about this. The year of 2018 is the year of honesty, at least for him and I. So yeah, the year of the frying pan of truth,
Yes.
but like
You
with
know,
yourself.
like how the Chinese have like the year of like the dragon and the
The
year of like
rooster,
the animals.
the-
This is
the year of honesty.
the frying pan of truth.
because he would have an issue of like someone at his work is like being rude to him or whatever, and he's like, oh, like I just keep letting it go. I'm like, you need to say something. He's like, you know what, I'm going to, and he did because it's the year of honesty. Or I'll be upset with someone, or I'm like, oh, I really want to do this or whatever, but like I'm scared to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it because it's the year of honesty.
Yeah.
This is the year of honesty. Woo!
All right, folks.
When Lisa does an actual
hate that word.
inspirational
Thanks, readers.
pondering.
You heard it here first. 2018, the year of honesty. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for reading, for listening, for watching, for procrastinating.
Living,
Just kidding.
loving,
I
for
meant to say,
tolerating.
what's that word where you interacting?
What?
The word where you
There's a
interact.
different word that's what I not meant to say.
Participating?
Participating. Thank you for participating, not
Yes.
interacting. Well, thank you for that too. Thank you guys so much. And we got two more episodes of this season of the podcast. So keep your eyes out for those.
And
Have
your
a
ears.
good day. Bye.